Good morning to all of you. Welcome back to Hospitality Engineering. Today we are starting Energy Conservation and Energy Efficiency Module 12. Part 1 Policy and Management. What is policy and management? It is a systematic approach that will enable you to monitor and improve on your performance day to day, week on week, and year on year. Building a new environmental culture will involve communicating to staff, guests, and other stakeholders. These may include investors, shareholders, your bank manager, suppliers, and members of your local community. Why have an environmental management program? It reduces carbon emissions, prevents pollution, and helps in processing all the waste and wise usage of energy and resources. We are utilizing and wasting natural resources too much. If we continue to do so, one day everything will be destroyed. Climate change and other global environmental concerns. Climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns. These shifts may be natural, such as through variations in the solar cycle. But since the 1800s, human activities have been the main driver of climate change, primarily due to burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas. Although much of the environmental focus is on climate change, there are other global environmental challenges that mankind has created and which need to be addressed. These include access to clean water, population overcrowding and overdevelopment, unsustainable food production, diminishing space to accommodate waste, disposal of hazardous materials, and the systematic spread of non-biodegradable chemicals. 4. Role of hotel in improving the environment. Hotels have an important role in improving the environment for the future. All hotels, however small, place a burden on the environment. They consume water energy, create large quantity of waste, contributes to local emissions as well as climate change. Many of the goods that hotels buy have environmental impacts. However, if every hotel reduced its environmental impacts, it would make a big difference to global issues. Legal obligation. It is used to protecting us humans as well as the different plants and animals in the greater ecosystem that we exist in. Environmental law ensures that individuals, governments, and cooperates do not cause harm to the environment or its ecosystems. Some of the important legislations for environment protection are as follows. The National Green Tribunal Act, 2010. The Air, Prevention and Control of Pollution Act, 1981. The Water, Prevention and Control of Pollution Act, 1974. The Environment Protection Act, 1986. The Hazardous Waste Management Regulations, etc. Financial incentives. There are clear commercial benefits in investing time and money in order to operate more efficiently and avoid the penalties of not facing up to your environmental responsibilities. Reduce the cost of your utility bills. Waste disposal costs will be lower. Cost of other products and services can be reduced. Reduce your exposure to the risk of being fined. Environmental training results in payback. Competitive position. Your company and your brand's reputation are priceless and critical to maintaining your market position. Reputation takes years to build up but can be lost in moments and may take years to re-establish. If you lose public confidence or tarnish your company's brand through poor environmental practice, or any other reason, you risk losing your clientele and market. Research shows that many people prefer to take holidays and stay in hotels that actively benefit the environment and the local community. This emerging market is growing and wise companies are positioning themselves to take advantage of it. Attracting and retaining talents. Talk to your employees about what they want. Make mental health and well-being a priority. Offer training and professional growth opportunities. Demonstrate a pleasant work culture. Offer appealing benefits and perks. Use modern technology. Reach out to employees that will benefit your company. Offer a flexible schedule. Local responsibility. Hotels and other accommodation providers have a responsibility to build good relationships with those who live and work in the local community and to consider the needs of their neighbors. This means operating in a way that will not detract from their quality of life, such as by depleting water resources, creating noise, waste, or traffic problems. Sourcing goods and services locally will allow you to develop closer relationships with suppliers, monitor quality more effectively, reduce CO2 and other harmful transportation emissions, and help the local business community to thrive. Safeguarding the industry's future. Travel and tourism is one of the world's largest industry, employing over 230 million people and generating over 10% of the world's GDP. As a major stakeholder, it is in every hotel's interest to protect the environment on which the travel and tourism industry depends. This means working at a local level help to solve global problems and find ways to mitigate the impacts of the climate change we are already experiencing. Environmental Management System, EMS. An environmental management system, EMS, is a set of processes and practices that enable an organization to reduce its environmental impacts and increase its operating efficiency. EMS will involve identifying the key environmental impacts created by your hotel, drawing up a policy and communicating it to staff, conducting an initial review of your hotel operation, allocating responsibilities, setting objectives and targets, monitoring and reporting on progress. Identify key impacts. Before you can write the policy, you will need to consider what your hotel's key environmental impacts are in terms of inputs, what you use, and outputs, what you create in terms of emissions and waste, so that you can determine where your priorities should lie. Policy. An environmental policy outlines your aims and the principles you plan to follow. It is invaluable in telling your stakeholders, employees, guests, business partners, and local residents that the management is committed to environmental improvement. The policy can take the form of simple values or emission statements, or it can work through all your environmental impacts and how you will address them. You may decide to include more than environmental issues so that it becomes an overall policy for responsible business covering additional issues such as purchasing fair trade products or other socio-economic considerations. The policy should have the full commitment at the most senior level of the company, CEO, financial director, general manager, etc. State your commitment to the pursuit of best environmental practice. Include a summary of how you plan to achieve this. Identify a desire to bring about continuous improvement over time. Input and output impact in a typical hotel is tabulated here. Sample policy. Achieve sound environmental practices across entire operation. Comply fully with all environmental legislation. Minimize our use of energy, water, and materials. Openly communicate our policies and practices to interested parties. Provide training to all employees and resources required to meet our objectives. Minimize our waste and to reduce, reuse and recycle the resources consumed by our business wherever practical. We stop here now in Policy and Management Part 1, which has further 3 more part. Thank you for watching. Like and share this video and subscribe to our channel for more training contents. Thank you.